This is non-certain employees. Sam Bush has submitted a notice of resignation from the grounds and maintenance crew. That was effective last week. 314, non-certain. Carolyn Pigman, this is a recommendation to move Carolyn to the head custodian role at the high school. That's the result of Mr. Jordan going outside for the spring and doing outside maintenance and custodial work. And then last under 314, recommendation to hire Lori Thomas as the middle school secretary. You'll notice there are no recommendations under 315 or 316, which are ECS. I'm happy to answer any questions, provide other input if anyone would like. It does require board action, so it's a motion and a second will vote.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Sam. All those in favor of recommending the personnel approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries 7-0.
Go to welcome home.
Welcome.
Yeah.
We're excited for you to join us. When you start your coursework,
So next steps is passing practice, and then from there it's just being online and in class paper. So we'll have some on that. So basically just studying for now.
well, before you being here in fall, everybody looks better in green now. Okay, 3.2 is donations. We have two. We have a $50 donation to the Elementary Student Activity Fund from Psi Iota Xi to be used for literacy needs, and a $40 anonymous donation to the Operations Fund. I would recommend that the board graciously accept both.
So moved. Does require a second.
Second.
Motion by me, second by Mr. Turner. I have to look that way to see who's talking. All those in favor of accepting the donation, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries 7-0.
3.3 is a recommendation to approve overnight and/or out-of-state field trips. There are three. The first is a trip to Kings Island for Education Days. This is Mr. Staros and Mr. Hilgert. And the second, we'll take a group of high school kids to Education Days at Kings Island. We've been doing this for how many years, Gary? It's been several.
About 13.
Yeah. I know as a former physics teacher, it's the best field trip I ever took my kids on. So Education Days is very cool at Kings Island. The second is the end-of-year trip to Purdue with the FFA group. This is Mrs. Fireball, Purdue, 3 days, 2 nights. So it's in-state, but overnight, July 20th through the 22nd. Is that right?
Yeah.
And the third one then is Archery Nationals. This one's a little less defined. We're not sure when our kids are shooting. This is out of state one day. Do we know yet?
Yeah, we do.
Did we find out what day is it?
Yeah.
It's either the 8th, the 9th, or the 10th, depending on what one of our selections is.
It's the 9th. High school in the morning at 10:15, middle school at 4:30, elementary at 3:15.
So they got the first choice. So it's a half day and it's out of state a little.
That's what happened last year.
And 3D will come out later.
So all three require board action approval because they're either out of state, overnight, or a combination.
So moved.
Motion by Dave,
Second.
second by Sam. All those in favor of approving the out-of-state or end-of-the-year field trips, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries 7-0.
3.4 is a recommendation to make a revision to the sign-up fee for FDA. I'm going to have Mr. Graham give some background on that. Mr. Graham, you have 5.2 minutes.
I'm gonna start the timer.
Do it, go. Basically, when the school took over the FDA program, which used to be QIA about 10 years ago, the prices for the signups were getting close to $100. It was like $90 or $100. And when we took it over, part of the reason was we wanted to make it more affordable for our families, since a lot of them do all 3 seasons. And so we dropped it to $50. Well, and we've kept it there. So we took it down from almost 100 to 50, and we've kept it there in the last 10 years. Well, with the equipment and everything, everything's going on in the world has caught up with athletics. And so, for example, just to recondition helmets, we just did that the other day with Capital Varsity, and we spent, I think it was almost $6,000 just on redoing helmets and shoulder pads. And believe it or not, and I know someone in this room will agree, the most expensive sport to actually clothes for all of our ECA for FPA is the little cheerleaders. They cost more than anything. And so, so we, every year they try to do a little extra fundraiser and stuff, so we're trying to eliminate that. Now, we don't think that if we raise it from 50 to 60, it'll cover everything, but it'll still keep some in the pot, so that way when things keep going up, we may not have to raise prices for another 10 years again. So that's our goal, is to keep it very affordable, but, it's only raising $10. But dealing with all the other teams that play the same, like the football example, I want to say that most teams or most organizations are twice as much to play. Like I know some of them are like 125, but we're still charging 50. So that's why it's going to be a little bit of a bump, but we're still way below everyone else. So, any questions on that, or?
Do we have any options for helping with that cost if there's some income-based situation or anything like that? Do we have any?
Oh yeah, if there's people that can't afford to pay for their stuff, that's what some of our money in the pot, we cover for it. You know, we don't make a big deal about it, and then there's some people who have, 4 or 5 kids playing. So, I'll reach out to you and say, hey, you pay for the first 3 or whatever, we'll cover. So we do that behind the scenes. Yeah, we never push anyone away that they can't afford to play.
We could reuse those cheerleading uniforms.
I've told them
here, by the way.
I know. The hard part is that Kelly green is a very difficult color to replicate.
That's okay.
And so when they print, sometimes that's different.
Every lot you get a color green is different than the previous lot.
Rhonda can probably attest to that too.
Yeah, every lot is different, and then even if it's the same company, same manufacturer, but if it's not that same lot, it just comes out different.
Hard part.
Other questions for Mr. Graham on the fee increase? Not, I would make the recommendation we increase by $10 to $60. This would be effective for.
This coming out fall with football and cheerleading, which actually that information is going out this week, so we were waiting for the more meeting to send
Tomorrow morning.
Guys, lock and loaded.
It's already ready to go on the
Yeah, so we've already got people asking, and we kept saying, just give us another week.
The recommendation would be increased by $10 to $60, effective for the fall. It does require board action, motion in a second.
I move that we accept or do this additional $10.
Second. Motion by Travis, second by Shay. All those in favor of raising the FTA program sign-up fee to $60, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Financial report.
Turned over to Mrs. Hockenbach.
First of all, I want to say that the team that we have that you heard, trust, they are so knowledgeable and they've stayed on top of it and has helped us out immensely. So our March fund report, we've gotten the first quarter in of 2025. Still early with the numbers, but we're on track. You can see the education is slightly under the 14%. Our revenue actually was a little higher than our expenditures. So we're watching that. We're still on track with that. We just had an ADM count in February, so they'll be truing up our basic grant. We'll know what that looks like in a couple months. Debt service, there was no activity. We will have our bond payments in June, and you'll be hearing me talk about that a little bit because we'll get our property tax in June, payments in June. June will be a big activity month. Operations, our expenditures outpaced our revenue. This is basically our Ed to Ops grant of the $100,000 for the month, and then the 21 is the extra. We had lit come in, and we had some miscellaneous funds come in. So we're watching it. March, April, May are our tight months until we get to June, but our goal is to get to June. We know we will. We're watching our expenditures.
Good property tax dollars in June.
In June, operations also. Rainy day, there's no activity. And school lunch, we had a high food purchase to get us through. We got our state funding. We're still in balance. We're keeping with the 3 months. I think 6 months is a lot. And so Blake and I work real close together on that, and we just do maintenance and repairs on the kitchen stuff, is all he's ever asked for. So, he knows where he stands on that, and if it's a need that he will bring to us if there is any, like we did have a freezer go down at the elementary once they took that down, but it was gonna happen, so. This is what we look like at the end of March. Nothing exciting, but nothing concerning yet. We're still just watching. Is there anything you want to add, Sally?
That true up for the education fund on the February kind of happens in May, right?
Actually, it'll hit June. Last year, it was actually July, and I don't know why the delay. So between June and July, we'll.
Historically, we have about 20 students that leave us at the Christmas break that show up in the February count. There's a multitude of reasons, life changes with families, et cetera. Some are invited to pursue educational opportunities elsewhere due to behavior. So there's typically 20 kids less here than there are in the fall. So we'll see a little bit of a decrease in revenue in ed in that catch-up period as a result of that. It's not usually substantial, it's small for us. It's 20 year in and year out.
What we expect, so.
With the school launch, I mean, that's a contracted service that we have, right? I mean, are we in negotiations for the 25-26 school year? And
Actually, we redid last year, so we are in, it's the first year renewal after the bid.
Mhm.
So there was an increase, but it's just the bare minimum of the increase, the percentage. So we haven't been approved by the state yet, but we have all the paperwork submitted, so I'm waiting to hear back. Checked with January last week, and I think she's bombarded with a lot of the renewals, so.
have you considered negotiating that rate of increase that was requested from the food service management company?
Typically no, because they are so upfront with us. They're like, hey, this is the bare minimum, everything's going up. I mean, they're a contracted service. We work really well with them. They are really great for our kids. We haven't seen the need to really negotiate that yet, but I always question it every month when I'm looking at the numbers just to see. So they know we're looking, and it's always on the table.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's pertinent to at least review the fees that they're charging and consider, because I mean, that's where the negotiation comes in, right? I mean, at least we get the food that gets charged, whatever they spend on food, that gets passed on to the school, but the money that's made in the fees, there's opportunity to potentially negotiate that rate with the changes in the state government and whatnot.
Always.
But, okay.
We keep that on the table, so. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, input from board members. I'll start down here. You wanna go ahead?
Sure, absolutely. I guess the other thing I have to say would be I just want to recognize Lori Deal for all the planning and work that she's done with the DC trip that's coming up. I know there's a lot of volunteers for all that. So, well, I guess is this the part where we go to the recognitions? Okay.
Yes,
Sorry.
absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Making sure I got it right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to recognize her for all that, and then also to all the parents and everyone else who's volunteering to chaperone on that. So I know it's been very well done, and yeah, just wanted to say thank you to her on that and everyone involved.
I don't know that I have much other than welcome Dakota. Super exciting to have somebody back that's been here and is gonna come back for very good reasons. So can't wait to see the impact that you have here. So thank you.
Okay, thanks for the donations. Thanks for Chris for having the meeting today. I really appreciate what you do to help us.
Thank you.
Well, that's about it.
Good you're back. Now you come help coach football. Tried to get you last year and you said you had too much. You know, so I think that means you're part of your contract.
Yeah, welcome back, Dakota, appreciate it. I don't have anything.
Congratulations and welcome back.
No, I am, yeah.
And also I want to say thank you with all the rain that we had, thank you to everyone that kept our spring sports going.
Yeah, echo, welcome Dakota, welcome back. I also wanna, she's not here, but the same goes for, Lori Thomas. She was the secretary when I was in school. She's excited to be back, I'm sure, so, welcome to her. Thank you, Mr. Graham, for making that move. I think it was much needed. And glad that everybody, I hope, had a safe and good spring break and is back to finish out the rest of the school year strong. How many weeks we got? You guys know you're counting down. Like 6?
About 6.
Yeah.
What day are we on?
34?
I'm counting down.
She's
We're not done.
I'm hanging on day by day. Anyway, excited to finish those last few weeks, so, yep.
Sprint race to the end.
Absolutely.
I think
We'll try.
we cram everything into April and May in schools for some apparent reason. The crew's done a great job. The weather's not been super cooperative outside, so a lot of work there to allow things to go. Thank you for the 7 of you for being here tonight and your patience and willingness to sit there. We got some conversations, okay, later in the fall here and some decisions to make, but I want you to be able to do it in an informed way. So, thank you for being here tonight and doing that.
All right, and let's take a motion in a second for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
You took my win from myself. Motion by Dave, second by Sam. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. All those opposed, motion carries. We adjourn.
Hey guys, I've got a sweatshirt if you want to see.
Woo, woo.